and this is what they call the Soul Consoling Tower. I'm here today at the Manzanar War Relocation Center out in Lone Pine, California, where back in the 1940s after Pearl Harbor, 11,000 Japanese U.S. citizens were taken from their homes and sent here, not because of what they did, just because of what they looked like. Let's get inside and see it. This is one of only 3 original buildings standing still in this relocation center. This was an auditorium that held more than 5,000 people. They used to do dances and do talent shows and have movies in here. So there were 10 locations for the relocation of Japanese citizens, ranging from, it looks like, about 7,000 citizens in Colorado. You had the Gila River, you had Heart Mountain, Jerome, Arizona, Manzanar, where we are, Tule Lake with 18,000 citizens, Topaz, Utah, Rower, Arkansas, Poston, Arizona, and Minidoka, Idaho.
Seen people with pictures of this wall where they actually found their relative's name.
So this is a wall with every citizen who was placed here. This is their names. So they have the actual records of every person when they first got brought in. And this is what the barracks looked like when it was actually in operation.
Question 27 asked if we would serve in the armed forces of the United States and go wherever ordered. Question 28 asked if you forswore allegiance to the Japanese emperor.
And how am I going to answer it? Because I can't forswear allegiance to the Japanese emperor, because I never had allegiance to him.
So here's an actual scale model of all the buildings. We are currently here, I believe, in the visitor center. So you had baseball fields. Looks like they had a victory garden, a couple dojos, a hospital in the back, right here. So they actually did have sports out here. They had they had a couple baseball teams, and here's where the basketball hoop was set up. And right down the road from the basketball courts is the baseball field. And now we're going to go into one of the old buildings. This was the block manager's office. So the block manager was basically the landlord. They would take care of the mail. They would receive any complaints that were coming in from the citizens. Here's some more of their sports. And this is about a riot they had. They were told that the guards were getting ready to riot on December 6, 1942, which was not true, but they ended up causing a riot due to this, and 2 men died, and 10 others were wounded. So this is the old Wilder apple orchard. And if you look at these trees, you can see they still have apples growing on them. And this is a rose garden that they've kept up. Looks like this ginkgo plant was presented to the Manzanar Historical Site by the Green Legacy Hiroshima on World Peace Day, September 21st, 2025. The mother tree is over 200 years old and one of the only 3 trees at the garden to survive the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. This was the hospital. All that's left is really just steps and a little bit of the outline in the back. And this is the old Manzanar Fire Department. Back in the day, there was 30 Japanese workers who worked here. They were paid $16 a month, and the fire chiefs were paid $19 a month. So this was the cemetery for Manzanar. There are currently 6 remaining grave sites that are here. All the rest have been moved. And this is what they call the Soul Consoling Tower. And there's still pilgrimages made here every year to commemorate all the people who lost their lives here. And this is the first person who died in Manzanar. Her name was Matsunosuke Murakami. And her grave is still here today. And this is the backside of the monument. And here's a Japanese garden for the Block 12 mess hall. People would come out here and eat and relax. So this is where they would make camouflage netting. You can see there's a slab there. There's about 4 slabs. Let's see, one here, 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 and here. And those were all camouflage net buildings where they would sit there and weave together camouflage nets for the army. And there was 500 Japanese Americans who used to work here. And this was staff housing where the regular administrative staff would live, which is right next to the old original sentry point. So all this was a Manzanar camp. And here was the location of the post office and of the original town hall, which you can see the steps. The original entry is still there, and a little bit of the outline. You can see over here. I've driven 395 100 times and never stopped. Now I can't stop thinking about what Manzanar leaves you with. Because it's not really a question about 1942. It's about what we're willing to let happen when we're scared enough. This has been a long journey ahead. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is not how I wanted to start my video weekend, but it happens.